The Justice Department believes they have enough evidence to charge Donald Trump. But, as we're going to look at in a second here, seems to be a little bit of disagreement behind the scenes about when, about, a little bit of this. So we'll look at that. And then, in regard to the same investigation, the behind the scenes from the Trump camp about what they should do right now, and a consideration that's pretty interesting. But first, from Mediaite, Justice Department prosecutors believe they have sufficient evidence to move forward with obstruction charges against former President Donald Trump, according to a new report. Citing people familiar with the investigation that received the national spotlight after Trump's Mar-a-Lago property was raided, Bloomberg's Chris Strom reported it's unlikely Attorney General Merrick Garland, who would ultimately approve moving forward, would be willing to move forward with just obstruction charges. There are already a group of prosecutors ready to push for charges, though there are also fears about charging a former president, especially when he could be gearing up to run for president again in 2024. FBI agents, according to the new report, are divided over whether charging Trump is actually a good thing. The former president has teased multiple times that he's considering a 2024 run. So they believe they have enough evidence, but there's disagreement behind the scenes about whether charging him now is the right decision, and whether that's because of what it's saying is Attorney General Merrick Garland's reason, which is, hey, maybe we need to get a little bit more and charge him with something larger, it seems to be, or the concern that charging someone who's likely going to run for president is a bad look or seems politicized. That's horrible. The second reason is absolute garbage. You have to treat this as separated from politics as possible. And it seems like they're almost trying to do that by saying we don't want to charge a former president, or we want to charge someone who's going to run for president likely in the next however many months. But that is also considering politics to a significant degree by making a decision not to. So the best way to go about this is just, as much as possible, separate your brain from who he is and just go off the evidence. Go off the evidence and make that decision. But it doesn't seem like that's what's happening, and that's very, very upsetting because it's one of the main reasons I was expecting him not to be held accountable, who he is, the power and the prominence of him as a figure. But that's not the way our justice system should work, right? We should have one that can see past your identity and just care about the evidence. And so if they believe they have enough evidence, go ahead and charge him. Now, I understand if you're trying to build a bigger case before doing that, but if it's just considering politics, I don't like that at all. Okay, so the second bit of news in regard to the same federal investigation, Donald Trump's team, and one of the reports I saw said because Trump is feeling a little bit beat down and weary of how long this is drawing out and all of those things, is considering, I guess the word would be complying better with the investigation to get it over with and just kind of let it go to its natural conclusion. And part of that is to let the FBI take another look at his Mar-a-Lago residence. Reading from CNN, Donald Trump's legal team is weighing whether to allow federal agents to return to the former president's Florida residence and potentially conduct a supervised search to satisfy the Justice Department's demands that all sensitive government documents are returned, sources tell CNN. In prior discussions with Trump's team, as well as court filings, the Justice Department has made clear that it believes Trump failed to comply with a May subpoena ordering the return of all documents marked as classified, and that more government records remain missing. Some in Trump's inner circle aren't convinced there are any remaining government documents after the FBI seized nearly 22,000 pages when they executed a search warrant on Mar-a-Lago in August. The possibility of allowing federal officials to return to Trump's property, likely with Trump's own lawyers present, is just one option on the table as the Trump team grapples with how best to protect the former president from legal jeopardy. No decisions have been made on that front, though. So again, the reasoning behind this can only be speculated, but I think at this point the right decision from a legal perspective, from their perspective, would be to just go ahead and do everything possible. Stop stalling. Let the investigation happen. Let whatever is going to come of it, and possibly that will lead to the best outcome for Trump. So very interesting there. And we'll see how it all pans out.